to one and all present here. I'm Ramya Devi working as Assistant Professor in SNS College of Engineering. Today I'm going to share a small article regarding some of the fundamental HTML elements we are using for creating a web page. So the HTML element is an individual component of a HTML document. It represents semantics or meanings. For example, title element represents the title of the document. HTML tag is used to mark the start and end of an element, like we have a start tag and an end tag for the same HTML element. So these are the common HTML elements. For example, when we have to display a heading, so we have six heading elements like h1 to h6. So it is used to produce section headings using h1, h2 and up to h6 elements. So h1, like so for example, if h1 is your heading 1 means, so it will show the larger. So if h1 specifies the character data to be largely displayed, and h2 smaller than that, h3 smaller than your h2, and h4 is again smaller than your h3, and finally your h6 is smaller than your h5. So these are the examples in which how your heading element is working in your HTML element. And some other common elements are paragraph, which is commonly used for writing any paragraph in your HTML page. For example, if you want to give a text as a paragraph, so we can use an character like a P is an HTML element which is used for displaying your paragraph content. And then if you want to display it in a different paragraph, so we have to close that paragraph element, and for second paragraph we have to again open and second paragraph element, and for third we have to open again and third paragraph element. And some other HTML elements are PRE, which is a pre-formatted text. So when in whichever format we have given inside that PRE, it will display as the same format in your HTML page. For example, here your PRE uses for preserving your white space and monospace type, and embedded markup is your BR, is still treated as your markup. And monospace font, a monospaced font also called as fixed pitch or non-proportional font, is a font whose letter and characters each occupy the same amount of horizontal space. And this is the example of your pre-formatted text. So whenever this text has been given in your pre-formatted, it displays as such in your web page which has to be created. And this is your line break HTML element, which is also commonly used element. And BR is example of an empty element, that is an element that is not allowed to have any content, but it is used but we don't have an end tag also for this content. So these are the empty elements. So these elements are called as empty elements. XML allows two syntactic representations of empty elements, which is like no closing tags. So empty tag syntax will be BR, and then slash is recommended for browser compatibility. And XML parsers also recognize BR start tag and followed by immediately the end tag also, but many browsers do not understand this as for empty elements. So common HTML elements are like, again one more common HTML element is a span, and it will apply style sheet technology to a span element, is used as a phrase element that specifies semantics of text, and also use a font style element. For example, element B bold face, I for italic, TT for teletype, big for increased font size, and small for decreased font size. And common HTML elements like HR and comments. Horizontal rule, also an empty element. Style can be modified using style sheet technology like h3 times paragraph, and like how it has been displayed here. And again the comments are also form a special form of tag, like we have to give an greater than symbol, exclamatory mark, and like double slash, and then after that we have to close it. So here one more important element for HTML element is an attribute, so which adds additional information to tags. For example, tag name, and then the if we have an attribute, it should have a value for that attribute. For example, img is an HTML element. Here a source is an attribute for that img element, which carries the information about where that image has been resided. And for paragraph, we can also have an attribute called class, And for A is an anchor tag which has been used an attribute called href, in which for which URL it has to be connected. And link is also an HTML tag which used an attribute called rel. And type, there are two href, there are three attributes, in each attribute has a value to it. Thank you.